Hello, my name is Toby Pickard and I left Dr Challoner's Grammar School in 2016, having studied Geography and Art at GCSE and Geography at A-level. I graduated from the University of Bristol in 2019 with a first class honours in BSc Geography, and I'm currently working my way towards becoming a wildlife camera operator in the wildlife TV industry.
We're off to Bristol to meet one world-renowned wildlife photographer, Toby Pickard, who's dedicated the last decade to honing his craft, and he's only 23.
I currently work as a runner at a production house here in Bristol, and today I want to talk to you about how my geography and art studies have got me to where I am today. Having gained an understanding of photography through art and an understanding for the world that we live in through geography, I've become a passionate storyteller of the natural world, using my camera to take photos and create films. As a wildlife photographer and cameraman, you have to really understand what you're working with, the natural world. Now, having studied geography, I understand the weather or why the landscape is shaped as it is, which is hugely beneficial when planning a shot to create striking compositions. Understanding why an animal may be passing through a particular area, often to reach a water source, for example, can really help when planning these shoots. And with the ongoing and ever-increasing pressures of climate change impacting the natural world, having an understanding of it is of paramount importance. For me, geography is about providing you with a deep, concrete foundation of skills with which you can use to flourish in whatever career you'd like to pursue, whether that's independent or team working, planning skills, or even presentation skills. They're all critically important in whatever job you choose to go for. Well, as a wildlife photographer and cameraman, you have to have a lot of patience, but that goes hand in hand with having an appreciation for the natural world. I can sit for hours outdoors and observe what's going on in front of me, but mainly because I'm always questioning and have an interest for what it is that is around me. You can spend long hours out in the field in whatever conditions get thrown at you, whether that's scorching heat or torrential rain and everything in between as well. But at the end of the day, you've got to have a creative eye and have a drive to be an advocate for nature and simply storytell. There are thousands, if not millions, of stories out there waiting to be told. But at the end of the day, all you need is creative eye and an inquisitive, questioning mind to be able to find them and use your camera to create some powerful, interesting films and photos. Geography is hugely relevant to my role today. It's provided me with a concrete understanding of the world that we live in, and I wouldn't have been able to produce some of the images or the powerful stories that I do now without having studied it. I remember geography at DCGS being fun, creative lessons. I remember the teachers being passionate and so enthusiastic, encouraging us to dig deeper below the surface and really question what we were learning, whether that was natural disasters or coastal erosion. We had some amazing field trips out of it as well, and I just thoroughly enjoyed the lessons. I realised quite early on that I was very much a visual learner, and I had some great teachers who had used the whiteboards and their iPads to draw impressive diagrams which have stuck with me since those lessons and have really helped me to understand how waterfalls are formed, for example. I've been fortunate enough to visit some incredible places with my camera. I've been to Iceland to study the geysers and see the waterfalls there with impressive quantities of water flowing over them. I've been to the Canadian Rockies and stood on a glacier. I've been to the Alps in the spring and studied snowmelt for the week. I've also seen the Severn Bore when I was at university, which happens once a day but very rarely, and it's this impressive tidal wave of water that comes cascading down the channel. Being able to see these natural spectacles and be able to document them with my camera, I've been incredibly lucky. But had I not studied geography, I wouldn't have been able to appreciate them just as much. My main advice to give geographers right now would be to always question and really delve deeper into a subject if you find it interesting. I particularly am fascinated by natural disasters, no matter how devastating they can be. Take for example the Tonga volcano the other week. That was devastating for local communities, but to us here in the UK who are largely unaffected by it, you can still get a real appreciation for just how big an event it was if you really read into it. And then coming at it from a photographic and filmmaking perspective, if there is a subject that you find interesting, really pursue it and see if you can create something exciting from it. For me, using my camera as a way to tell stories or get messages across to people is what has really driven me to where I am today. I think the thing with geography is that it always surprises me where it turns up, whether it is in the news or on TV or in a conversation with friends. It's always relevant and it will always be talked about. So by studying the subject, you're already putting yourself further ahead than everyone else around you, which can really help for discussions in the future. But no, it doesn't always help when trying to remember that capital city of that far-flung country in a pub quiz. The main take-home message I would like you to take from this is that geography is a diverse and huge subject to study. And so therefore there is not just one job you can get at the end of it. But that is great. I've got friends that are working as flood modellers, working for the Met Office, the Environment Agency. I'm working in TV. I've got friends working in public health, working as teachers and working as consultants for PwC and other big banking firms. There's this huge array of jobs that you can get as a result of studying geography that make it great at providing the basic groundworks for you to thrive in your future careers. I hope this has been helpful. My name's Toby Pickard and I wish you all the best with your future careers.